Hello, welcome to One's the Force of Stars podcast. My name's Phil, of course. I'm joined by, as usual, by Dave and George. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, my friend. Well, I'm here for now. George is joining us. He's getting sorted out. He's only just got in the house, so he's going to be joining us very shortly. But yeah, for now, me and Phil, as we promised. George added extra because he wasn't supposed to be here, but he is. Hurrah!
Indeed, us being late and me being busy, not being able to do the schedule on times, actually lent us all three being here, which is good for once. So yeah, George will be with us very shortly. There won't be a huge show in terms of news because, of course, of the big thing coming up in a couple of weeks. We don't know what that is. We'll see. But now, of course, we do have a few things to talk about first. Might as well jump straight into it. George will jump in when he jumps in. Let's talk about the Rise of Skywalker TV spots. Because I know you and I have a... Oh, George is here.
And here I am jumping in.
Hi,
Perfect
George.
timing.
Welcome to the
podcast. Hello there. How are we?
Yeah, good. Nice for you to have us. It's been nice. Phil was just saying, because we went a little bit late. We were late getting everything out because of just work and home life and things getting in the way. So it's meant George has been able to join us, which is awesome. So yeah, we're literally jumping the first piece of news. We're about to talk about the TV spots that are out there now. Phil and I are vehemently not watching TV spots. And George, you've seen one?
I've seen two. The first one and the one
the duel.
Not see. Yeah.
I
am getting fed up of notifications from I've got YouTube Star Wars notifications to my phone. I've never complained about my life until the last 2 weeks.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Morning, and in my notification, and it has a still, and even a still was enough to get me wound up.
It's crazy the amount of stuff they actually do put into that you can kind of go on to just this is the new TV spot, but you're right. The image that they then assign to that TV spot is normally a new image that hasn't been shown in a trailer or anywhere else. So you kind of go, oh, well, that's great. At least they're going to give you a new TV spot. I get that. And they want to do that. And as we get closer and closer to the day, 2 weeks away for us here in the UK, we'll be
watching Last Jedi in 2 weeks. Right now, Last Jedi will be on the crawl or some ships getting blown up.
Some rubbish will be on there getting blown up, yes.
Into the garbage compactor with you. Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to see anything to the point of it's not a hidden secret here at Ones of the Force. I love the NFL, and I watch it almost religiously. And of course, I get the American feed because of the NFL Game Pass straight to my laptop or my phone, wherever I'm watching it from, which means, of course, I do get the American adverts, which does mean Star Wars TV spots. And every time it comes on, it's literally fingers in my ears, eyes shut, literally look at the tiniest corner of my screen to see when I can actually go back to watching what I'm watching, because I don't want to see anything. Again, just like you, George, I get the notifications on my phone, and it's just this pain of just got to stay away from as much social media as possible, because we're trying to go into this as blind as possible, especially being as big a film as this is, being the last of the Skywalker saga. I don't want anything ruined for it, especially when it comes to the fact that we had to wait so long for the first trailer and then even longer for the second trailer to then have 12 TV spots in the space of a week. It's just insane.
Always happens. And I understand why they have to, why some countries have them. But it just reaches a point like, do you need to put the TV spots on YouTube? Can you not let them go on TV and let people find them or have them seen? It's not something you need notifications for. Yeah. And I know I've got notifications on, and it's obviously quick to point the blame. And yes, some people do want to see the trailers. I respect that, I understand that. But I would imagine of the fans that have notifications on, there are probably more people that would rather not see anything.
Yeah, I think, especially this being the film it is, people are trying. I think a lot of people are steering away from as much news as possible. But it's out there, and it's kind of hard to go on social, like you said, hard to go on social media, Twitter especially. Every day there's something new on there. So I'm finding even when I'm posting stuff for our social media that I'm literally on our page posting it off because I'm staying away as much as possible.
It's why I recommended that Facebook Pages app to you, because you can literally go to our page only, upload what you need to upload, and then go off of it. You don't need to see anything else. It's hard, but it has to be done. And of course, being the Rise of Skywalker coming out in 2 weeks, we might as well update you guys on what our plans are. Purely because, of course, current to Rise of Skywalker, we have a lot of content coming up. And then afterwards, we have our winter break. We'll have Mandalorian and Resistance shows as well. So, Dave and George, do you guys want to break down what our plans are?
I was about to, and then I've asked you one question. We're having a winter break, but will we report the Mandalorian final episode within the winter break?
That was going to be a discussion point. I didn't know we'd probably do that off air, but we might come on and do.
It's the party.
That's okay.
Anyway.
No, that's fine. And we hadn't kind of got it. That's okay. I was going to say, really, we are looking at having a winter break because we've done this and we're going to have a lot of content. We've been putting out a lot of videos. On the 18th, we're going to go see The Rise of Skywalker on the Triple Bill. We'll then be reporting our instant feedback on that, sort of a spoiler-free. But what we'll be looking at doing on the 21st of December, which is a Saturday, we'll be looking at putting out our final show before winter break. Now, that may entice a few shows. We may look at maybe putting out something to do, because obviously The Mandalorian will have had 2 episodes that week.
Oh, one. I misread the schedule. It's fine. It's still 1 episode, though. It's still something we have to take into consideration.
What's The Mandalorian? We want to leave you with sort of our spoiler review of The Rise of Skywalker. So on the 21st of December, expect our breakdown of that. Go right through it. We'll spoil the heck out of it. It's been out. It'll be out in the States by then as well. So that's nice that people have had the chance to see it without putting all the information out there, which we would hate to do. And then we're going to have the festive period off. We're going to have time with our family and our friends and doing other stuff than looking at webcams and things. So we're then going to be back. It'll be the week commencing the 6th of January. It'll be some point during that week, whether it's early in the week to report on something or if we wait until the Wednesday for a main show. And like the guys are just saying there, we may have an episode come up between that. We might maybe even do like an off-air record, so it wouldn't be live, but we'll do maybe the Mandalorian season finale. I think we might be ashamed to miss that, so we might just not be scheduled the same as we always do with the Saturday and come out with it. We'll just get together when we can, record it, and then we'll put it up when it's available to do so, rather than us set to an extra schedule, especially, as I say, over the holiday season, over this festive period. It's so hard for everyone to kind of batten down. Yes, I've got this day free and that day free, especially, you know what? Rise of Skywalker's out. We're going to be at the movies too, watching this film a few times. So we'll get it out when we can. But from 21st of December through to the 6th of January, that will be off schedule. And we'll be back in that week commencing the 6th. And we'll be back on a schedule of a show when we get them for The Mandalorian well, that'll be sort of done. But we'll be looking at our Wednesday show and our Sunday show. We'll probably bring out our list show because we'll have other things we put in there as well. So We've got a lot coming, but a nice big break coming too.
Indeed, and Dave and I will probably end up doing a few episodes of our Resistance breakdown on that week just to catch up. Because again, there's no finale, there's no mid-season break for it. But again, we want that little time, as Dave said, for our families, for our friends, and so that we can go see this Rise of Skywalker as many times as we like. And again, so we'll come back with that. We'll let you guys know closer to the time when our return will be and what exactly our return will be. The Mandalorian will be that one issue, but the three of us will discuss that off air, and again we'll put a post up letting you know what we'll be doing for that. But yeah, we just wanted to address that so you guys are aware that from the 21st of December to the 6th of January we will be going on our winter break because we do have lives outside of this, funny enough. Well, I don't want to speak for everyone else.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But we do have some semblance. And now, back to our regular feature programming. So we might as well talk about the John Boyega script loss. George, I'm going to let you take this one, pretty much because you correctly guessed which cast member it was had lost their script.
Yeah, so there was a report that JJ went on. I was going to cover JJ's, was it Good Morning America talk?
Yes.
Kicked off the press tour. We had a 30-second clip from the film, which they revealed, and as usual, a bit of a polite Q&A, I guess you can say. Yeah. And they're asking, obviously, about filming of there, and he kind of came out of a bit of a weird one that, one of the actors left their script under the bed in the hotel. It was found by an employee there and was put on eBay. And I think they said that Disney found out before it got sold, which was the key part, before it got sold. I'm assuming the lawyers went in. And it was really not hard to guess which actor that was. I messaged you, said it's going to be John Boyega. You just know it is. I don't mean that. I hope it's not criticism, but it just, it was obviously John Boyega. Like Adam Driver's too intense. Daisy seems not too much with it. It sounds. I don't want to sit there critiquing everyone, but John's kind of the guy that could also get away with leaving it there too.
Yeah,
under the bed's like the obvious old school pick. Like, it was Adam Driver. I can imagine him like hiding it like in a quilt. Did really like in a wardrobe or something. Absolutely. Like John Boyega straight up under the bed, like nice and easy. But nothing leaks. That's the main part.
It's amazing. What I do love about this is that the person who found it saw it, didn't quite realize that what they had in their property. I think they'd put it on eBay for 60. I think it's the quote come out £65 or $65. So not a massive amount of money. And then somebody at Lucasfilm spotted and went, there's a pretty good looking, if that's a copy, it's really good looking script on eBay. And apparently, then they found out because obviously it's got John Boyega's name all over it. And that's the only reason I can think that if they put it on, sounds awful, put it on such a low price, the source script with John Boyega's name on it and just put that on eBay, not reading at all what it was.
Do you think that John Boyega, I mean, to go looking for a script on eBay, do you think John Boyega may have reported that he'd lost the script as well?
You probably would think he would have put his hand up and gone, I've done oops here. And because if it doesn't, if it comes out afterwards, the House of Mouse will not be happy.
Oh, I'm guessing they weren't happy anyway.
One of my friends used the term correctly. If you've also seen Pirates of the Caribbean, the opening Dead Man's Chest, there's birds pecking the eyes out of a man in a cage.
Yep.
He bet that John Boyega would be back there with Baze from Rogue One.
For the
absolutely spot on.
The infamous celebration slip-up. No, that we all saw live. We were all there.
Amazing time.
For the moment, Dave and I were literally sat next to each other when that happened. Turned to each other and went, did he really just say that?
It was amazing. But I mean, I love it. It's quite now. It's obviously a funny story because they got the script back and nothing leaked. But it just kind of scares me that it could have been bought by anybody, and the whole story could be out right now.
Yeah.
So the person might have read it.
Yeah, someone out there knows. If they've gone right through that, they know that.
Probably found them too.
Amazing. I love it. I do love it that he's not been in so much trouble. He's played off like a cheeky Cockney, I just lost me script and it's fine. And
luckily, none of the three of us were on there, or else we would have had our hands on that quite easily.
I mean, I'm not going to
buy it now.
I wouldn't have bidded £65 either. I'd have thought it's too cheap to be genuine.
Yeah, that's kind of half of the thing. You think, no, there's no way.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very true. However, the other thing that came out in that J.J. Abrams interview was the final runtime for Rise of Skywalker. So shorter than the reported 2 hours and 35. It's 2 hours and 20? Something like that.
I think 2 hours and 35 is the actual runtime. It was reported to be around 2 hours. It was 2 hours 40 something, I believe, which took it to the longest film ever in the Star Wars saga, just passing
Last
Jedi. So this is now full, and I think it's right alongside New Hope for time of run. The time of run for runtime. So it's kind of nice that the start film and the end film, if you watch them in the release order, are pretty much to the minute the same runtime.
It's also interesting to see what got left on the cutting room floor. I have a feeling with the 4K box set, you're going to get all the stuff we missed out from Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
I don't think
it's all coming.
I think we're going to get everything that is on Disney Plus, and in another few years they'll do an ultimate 4K box set.
Then the ultimate 4K box set with added extra book and other pictures. It's all coming. It really is. Once this movie's out, expect all kinds of box sets and releases and Disney Plus seasons, and I can't wait.
It'll be good, but we just know that they won't put it all on the first release. We are well aware of this. They did it for we know
Force
that for the right Force Awakens especially. I mean, Last Jedi, again, there wasn't a huge amount of deleted scene directions. We know there's more. We know they're keeping more back deliberately, and we know why they do it. Of course, it makes more money, and yes, they know we'll pay for it. But it'd be interesting to see what they leave out of this one to make it as short. Because I was expecting it to be that 2 hour 55, even 3 hour mark, with what it had to do with what it has to wrap up. I was expecting it to be longer.
And I mean, while we're on the runtime, I don't know if we want to talk about today's news that we saw on Twitter. If anyone has or haven't been to see Richard E. Grant's Twitter at the moment, he has been to a fan screen. Have you not seen it yet, Phil?
No, I've been keeping away from all this.
You might want to mute me and George for about 5 minutes.
I saw this when I woke up, and I love Richard E. Grant. If anyone's seen his films, he's a very likable individual. He's a very good actor. He finally got his nomination for the Oscars this year. And if anyone remembers, even before today, when the official Star Wars 9 cast was released, he did a video of him in his lounge, and he wasn't emotional, but he was so excited just to say he was in. He's so nice. He's so likable. yesterday the first cast screening took place. By cast screening, this is principal cast. And in this video, he was on the verge of tears. You could see the water in his eyes. He'd obviously just woke up in the morning after watching it, and he just spoke for a minute how wonderful it was. The experience it made him cry, it made him laugh. Everything about that. It was honestly a really nice video. No spoilers to give anything away. It's not a review. It's none of that. It's just someone expressing their emotions, and you know what? It was really nice to see that.
It was really it was what I wanted to hear from someone who's been to see the movie already. And I love Richard E. Grant. I'd watch him open letters or doors for hours. I think he's amazing. But for him to be so emotional and happy over what he's seen, and he looked honestly. When he cried, he jumped, he punched the air, all great stuff. Great to hear. So yeah, if you want to watch any of that, Richard E. Grant, if you go follow him or watch him on Twitter, it's a great little clip. But yeah, it's only it's like 30 seconds, but definitely worth a watch if you want to feel really good about the movie that's coming out in a few days' time.
And I'm back in the room. All is good there. For those of you who are on the audio who are wondering where I went, I literally just turned my headphones down until I couldn't hear anything of what's just been said. Those of you on the video, of course, who just watched me sitting there just happily just here my merry way, purely because, again, I have tried to keep myself as much out of it as possible so I can go in with basically as blind as I can do. Again, I didn't even watch that clip from that interview with J.J. Abrams. We put a 30-second clip up. I haven't even seen that.
I haven't seen that.
No, there's a lot of interviews now and stuff coming out. They've done cast interviews, different places, and
I won't see any interviews. I've bought the magazines. I won't read any till the film's out.
Yeah.
I've got my pre-orders on the Visual Dictionary. Naturally, they don't come out till the day after the film.
Yeah.
When the soundtrack list comes out, maybe people. Oh, we should have put this on the screen. A fake soundtrack track list, and I kind of saw it and had a mini heart attack. What it is, the first 7 tracks are genuine, like you could see them being tracks in the film. Track 8 was it Colin Trevorrow's Noble End?
Yes.
And then every track after that was just like a mixtape of anything that's been related to Star Wars the last year or two. But the first 7 songs are so real. I almost clicked off it until I saw the word Colin Trevorrow, and then I realized it was.
Well, the thing is that you put it up and went, see track 9. Both Dave and I went, whoa. We don't want to see a damn thing. You went, hang on a second. Just read track number 9. Trust me. And this one, okay, fair play. It's a gag. It is quite good. Although stuff I have been looking at is the new posters we've had come up. So the 2 new real D and 3D IMAX posters we've got. I assume we have those in our.
We do. I mean, one is really, really gorgeous, and that is the Real D 3D poster. Is stunning. Yep. Harkens back to A New Hope. Absolutely stunning. IMAX poster, not so much.
I despise the IMAX poster. I'm so sorry. People love it. For a start, it was Luke for about a minute.
The hair. I thought it was Kylo's hair. It was weird.
When my friend sent it to me, it was zoomed in. I was like, why on earth does Kylo Ren have hair? Like, what's his look? It took me for them to point it out that it was Luke. Looking back, it's ridiculous how obvious it is. But when you're on your phone and you're zoomed in,
it's the fact that it looks like half his head's been cut out entirely. It's just this weird mix. I like the other one though. I do like the real D one.
The other one's beautiful. It's a lovely throwback to Episode 4, A New Hope, the very first Star Wars poster, and it's essentially a modern take on it. They've got I've forgotten the name of the artists. Who had Paul Shipper, who did the amazing Dolby poster for Episode 8. He did all the celebration artwork for Orlando in 2017. He's one of the most talented, I want to say, poster artists that's so incredibly inspired by Drew Struzan. This is a poster where I probably wouldn't have wanted it until I saw it, because it could have looked cheap, it could look tacky, but this clearly has the respect for the franchise, and that's what's quite important to me.
Absolutely. It just say the real thing. I just don't get the IMAX one. It's a very awkward and weird sort of the way it's done. But hey, you know what? It's nice to get new posters. I'll be looking out for that real 3D one to be hopefully given away rather than the IMAX one. But we'll see what we get.
Indeed, we will. Although, to be fair, looking forward to see what Mondo post they release for this film, because I reckon it's going to be an absolute cracker. Considering, George, you've got your one for The Last Jedi, and it's just gorgeous to say the least.
Oh, the Mondo poster is the most beautiful thing I've ever bought. I really am tempted to buy an Episode 9 poster, just so I've got, in theory, a 7, 8, and 9. However, I probably won't be because I've just got a bit too many posters, and I really want I really want Daisy and Adam's signature on the other two, and I don't want another poster to have to get them both on. Too many dramas. But no,
Too much drama, too much money. Right, moving on to the next piece of news. So, Star Wars Channel returns to Sky Cinema this Christmas before the rights go back to Disney in March. They're going to try and milk it as much as they can. It's quite obvious because they know they're not going to be able to get the rights back probably ever.
Yeah, no, Disney Plus is here to stay.
Yeah.
They'll probably be able to buy out Sky soon.
The amount of money they're making and subscribers they're getting just in the countries that, considering they've released in the US, Australia, and Holland at the moment, and the subscriber numbers that they've been reporting are quite incredible. That people have signed up to this every day.
And yet they couldn't buy out the rights from Sky just so that we could have The Mandalorian early. How dare they? How dare they not do that?
You know what they could have done? I know they wouldn't because it defeats Disney Plus. They could have sold Sky the rights on a 3-month basis.
Yeah, and given them it back, for over Christmas. Don't get us wrong, it's lovely to have on Sky, if you have Sky, to have a Star Wars channel, because literally it's just movie after movie. It's always nice to be able to just jump in at any point of the day if you're around, especially if you've got some time off over Christmas. Always nice to be able to see a Star Wars film, especially if it's a new one. But yeah, so it'll be nice. But yeah, you're right. They're going to play this out to death until they have to stop, as this is all then going to, I would guess, literally until the, 30th of March. Right, we're closing it off now.
Indeed, though, although we might as well, since we are talking about it, talk about The Mandalorian. It becomes the top streaming TV show in the US, beating out Stranger Things. I'm not surprised by this. I haven't watched Stranger Things personally. From what I've seen, it doesn't really look like it doesn't appeal to me. I know I'm in the minority. I know a lot of other people like it. Just from what I've seen from the trailers and stuff, it just didn't entice me at all. However, I know it is extremely popular. I know that a lot of people love it. But The Mandalorian beating out is not something I'm surprised by. The Mandalorian is just incredible.
I'm very surprised by this, actually. And I love both, obviously, Star Wars, and I saw Stranger Things this year for the first time. Obviously, this is a US demographic, so it's not worldwide for obvious reasons. The Mandalorian isn't available worldwide legally. And to be a new streaming service, less than a month old, to outdo season 3 of arguably, I would say still Stranger Things right now is bigger than Mandalorian still. To have it outstreamed in America within a month compared to the Stranger Things being available in July is remarkable. That is something incredible. I didn't see coming. We all laugh and joke about Disney coming for Netflix. They just took down their juggernaut with their first child. Do you know what I mean? The battle is there for the taking, and I don't think I guess I'd be underestimating Marvel. I think a Marvel show would have outdone that, but the encouragement that The Mandalorian has had, the growing audience that it's had. If The Mandalorian was rubbish, Disney's subscriber count would not be dropping; it'd be massive still. But I don't think gathering the attention it has done. To outdo Stranger Things is remarkable, and Disney have my respect. The streaming service war has begun.
It was a shocking stat when I saw it as well. Like when it came out, I was like, "There's no way to beat Stranger." And you look, it's just like that's the numbers that are coming in for it. And you're right, this is Mandalorian is still their big. I mean, yes, they've got the shows out there, they've got their exclusive movies, but none of those are streaming at the levels that the Mandalorian is. Now we know a lot of that worldwide number is unfortunately not watched through Disney Plus, but in the US, they're grabbing such big numbers. It's so impressive a feat, and you're right. Had the series been poor, it would never have got to this level. And I'm amazed but overjoyed at the same time.
What I also think with Star Wars, and this is films including, Star Wars will always be bigger in America. Force Awakens is the highest grossing film in American history. Endgame didn't top that. The only reason Force Awakens isn't the highest grossing film in cinema worldwide is because China and South America. Everything else it battered. Not that it's a war between them. Disney win regardless. But when you look at those stats, it's 2 territories, and we know Star Wars won't ever break China. They've tried. It's just not working for them, which is fine. But for them to do that, certainly in America, is a very big sign. I'd be very intrigued in England.
Indeed, I love it coming from here from Robin saying, "Begun the streaming war has," and Yeah, completely agree.
I don't think it's going to be a war that lasts very long. Unfortunately, this is Blu-ray and HD DVD level
all
of
over
war.
again,
I think
yeah.
it's going to. Yeah, I don't see it
And
lasting
who got the
particularly
final
long.
blow with that one? Disney, with signing that exclusive Blu-ray contract. That's what got it. So Disney could win all over again, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, yeah, no Stranger Things is Netflix's juggernaut, as you said, and this is The Mandalorian is Disney Plus's first big ticket item, and it has completely blown people out of the water. And the numbers are insane. Going back to Rise of Skywalker news, we have Colin Trevorrow is donating his Rise of Skywalker residuals to Alexander Devine's Children's Hospice. Again, Dave, you got this piece in you, so I'll let you kind of take the lead in this one.
It's very much what you've just said, that he's come out and said that anything he makes from having his writing credit, because apparently some of his story points are still being used in The Rise of Skywalker, so any residual that he gets from the movie, he is going to donate to the Alexandra Divine Children's Hospice, which is in the UK, and I'm not sure whereabouts it is, down south somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I thought it was just a really classy move from him to be like, you know what, yeah, I have a story point, I'm getting paid for this, to still be part of this movie, but anything I'm getting from it, I don't need, and passing it on. So I just thought it was a really classy move by him.
Definitely.
Yeah, agreed. Again, continuing on with that, so Bob Iger confirms that Diane Fallon will get to the early screening of Rise of Skywalker. I think he actually did have that screening yesterday.
Been gone ahead earlier this week.
Yeah.
It was announced on Thanksgiving. Obviously, it's bigger in America than England that they would make the opportunity happen. And then I think it was on the news this week that, Disney sent a man with a laptop round. His family invited to watch it with him. Obviously, he wanted to remain nameless. There's some photos where they put helmets on it, the Garrison guys there. And they went all out. And, sometimes newsreels like that are ultimately it's a very sad story. But when you've got a juggernaut company like Disney that they can go out and make the effort. It was Bob Iger that saw the tweets. It wasn't, I'm sure someone mentioned it to him, but Bob Iger was tweeting this hospice. They continuing the news development, hearing everything I can about this. It's a very sort of warming story. I remember something very similar to Force Awakens. And, sometimes people forget that, this may be the biggest film in history. They may want to keep it spoiler free, not tell people what to do, but ultimately they know it's for the fans as well. And this fan, as Mark Hamill tweeted after, he got to see it before Mark Hamill and the cast did.
Absolutely.
So it's it's a lovely story to hear. And it's sometimes, when a company does that, it just has that bridge between what some companies would do and what some wouldn't.
It's just nice, that they've had this, and I think it happened with it happens with a lot of movies, especially I think Endgame had a similar sort of thing where people were asking if they could see it, and I do think it is nice to have maybe one story publicized. You know what? It's probably not just one person who gets to see it. I'm guessing there's probably others out there, but it is nice that over the films that maybe publicized just one, and I think especially because the person who it was wanted full anonymity, so there was no this is this person and their family, and it's just been nice. It's all been kept sort of it's kind of under wraps. Apart from that, this hospice, but I do think it's just again a lovely move by Disney to make sure that a fan who they were pretty sure isn't going to make the release date, unfortunately, to see the last Skywalker film.
Has anyone seen Fanboys?
Yes.
Yeah, it reminded me very much of the ending to Fanboys.
And the thing of Fanboys, although it's obviously not real life, George Lucas read the story, the script. He loved the idea, the concept of it, and let them film it at Lucas Ranch, which he didn't have to do.
No.
He chose to, and that situation can be replicated. May have been on previous occasions. Sorry. So when you get stories like that, it's just they don't have to help out, but they choose. I think that reflects within everybody that's involved.
No, it's just proof that behind the company there is still a person with heart and soul. Moving on, I want to talk about again back to Mandalorian. Talk about Ryan Johnson wants to direct season 2, a season 2 episode of The Mandalorian. I'm happy for him to direct an episode, but I would much rather Favreau have complete control. I must admit, personally.
I like a new director on each of the episodes, and I know it's been shared, so Filoni's doing a couple, but I do like the thought of other directors coming in. I'd quite like to see Ryan's direction on an episode of Mandalorian or a couple of them. I think it'll be a really nice move. And also, there's other directors I'd love to see. I'd love to see Gareth Evans come in. I'd love Lucas to take one. I really, really would love Lucas to take an episode of The Mandalorian. But
Yeah.
I'd love to see, just Brien, if you want to come in and do one, I don't see any harm in a half-hour television show, giving him that. And I think there's some of the pictures, I mean, people have been looking at our Facebook or anywhere on our social media, we've been posting every day as we count down to us going to see Rise of Skywalker photo. Today's was the shot from The Last Jedi of the red throne room with Rey and Kylo back to back, one of the most beautiful shots in Star Wars history. And if you know what, someone can come in and shoot like that, wants to come in and do The Mandalorian, I'm all the man for it, all the better for it.
Yeah, George.
I really want to see him do it. If he does do it, I would like them not to reveal what episode it is, so it can't be bombarded a month before it airs by the usual suspects. But you can't spell Mandalorian without Ryan either. So
absolutely.
No, it'd be nice to see him. We know he's still in good terms with Disney. The trilogy's still happening. I still love Episode 8. I understand people that don't, as long as it's within reason in terms of not abusing people online. However, it's a one episode of TV, and this guy made the best episode. The two best episodes of Breaking Bad, arguably the greatest show ever made. He directed the two best episodes from it.
Yeah,
and he's done TV. He's done film. He can do it.
He's got good history, and I say I'd have no problems with him coming on board.
Indeed. Although, speaking of TV and speaking of also polarizing opinions, Dave, do you want to introduce this next piece of news?
Oh, yes. This is Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge. This, to me, is all awesomeness. This is a game show. It's going to be a children's game show, obstacles, things like that. Now, for anyone in the UK who's watching of a certain age, for me, it goes back to a program called Funhouse, which was prizes and running through foam pits and jumping over obstacles, finding different prizes. And I only have a feeling that if they run for that kind of thing, all the better for it. I think this is a wonderful little move to bring in children into the franchise and also to just have a bit of fun with it. It's going to be obviously a Disney Plus series where it's basically like you see them on TV now where they have little games for younger children to play and win stuff. And this is going to be, I think, sort of a mix of a Funhouse, a Ninja Warrior sort of vibe to it, but with a Jedi sort of feel about it. Now, one thing about it, they are bringing Ahmed Best is going to be the host. Not as Jar Jar, they're going to make him a Jedi in this, and he's going to be the host, leading the children through all these Jedi Temple challenges. I, for one, think it's an excellent idea. Phil, do you share my opinion?
I'm going to let George take the rest just before I get into my opinion, because I think mine could not be further from yours. George, do you want to jump in on this one?
When it first came out yesterday, I was not perplexed. I saw it's going to be on Disney Plus. It's a game just for children. So Ahmed Best is the host. That calmed me down because it's not canon. It doesn't need to be canon. It's not being done as you must watch this to continue watching the 8 films. And there's a show, I don't know if this is showing my age compared to you two, called Raven.
I do remember Raven as well. I remember the original one.
The exact vibe of this is Raven. You've got your Jedi, aka Raven. Obviously, this time by Ahmed Best, which I'm excited to see back. He'll have kids who'll do challenges and they'll eliminate one each week or whatever. I understand why. It might not be my cup of tea, but if I had a kid or I was 8 years old, I'd be begging to go on that. I'd imagine they'd do some canon, like they'd probably give it a planet and make that planet official canon. But as long as it's not rammed down your throat, this is the sort of thing I could see on the Star Wars YouTube channel. Is this a sign that they might slowly move some little tidbits of that over towards Disney Plus? I am intrigued. I'd give it a shot again. It's like Resistance, Actually, it's not like Resistance. It's probably going to be funner. I know it won't be for me at the point of launch, and I can take that.
Phil.
So I'm old enough to remember both Funhouse and Raven. That puts me in the middle there. So we've had the completely positive opinion, we've had the in between, and now we have the vehemently against, which is me. This is completely unnecessary, and I have no idea why they've done it. I mean, don't get me wrong, and it's not aimed at me, and I may give it a watch when it comes on. However, I could not be further from Dave's opinion on this. That is just making money, slapping the Star Wars name on something that doesn't need to be there. I understand if people disagree with me, and that's fine. However, I'm sorry, but no, not this is no, not for me.
Any emails telling Phil he's wrong is absolutely fine to send to us at onesoftheforce@gmail.com.
Luckily, that's not actually the correct email address.
I know I got it wrong. I know as I was saying it, I realized.
But look, it's just
anyway,
that's just my personal opinion on it. It's not really for me. I know the show's not aimed at me, and that's fine. No, I don't get it. I just don't get why they would do it. But it's fine. It's fine. However, the one thing I will say, I am so happy they brought Ahmed Best in to do it. The guy is now being shown the love he always deserved. Yes, Jar Jar is a polarizing character for some. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not Captain Phasma. He's never going to be that bad. But it's good to see him come back to the fold. It's good to see him come back to the con circuit. He's actually at Wales Con this coming weekend at Telford, which is in England, which is the weirdest one. They've moved it away from Wrexham in Wales to England because they wanted a bigger venue, but it's still called Wales Con. So it's Wales Con, all those in England. It's a confusing one. However, also, the other people there, you've got Kiadimundi and Captain Panaka as well. So I'm going to be there. Might meet Kiadimundi. Got to see what the fun's like. However, should be good fun. But yes, Ahmed Best will be there. It's good to see you come back to the fold, but the show, no. Yeah, actually, the comment, I feel you're wrong. Yes, I understand. That's fine. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying it's really not for me. So we're going to talk about the next bit, which is the preview of Rise of Skywalker attached to episode 7 of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. Episode 7 is the
one that's streaming on it's going out on the 18th. Yeah, so on the day we go to see the actual film, there is going to be on the release of The Mandalorian. There will be a preview. I'm guessing just another trailer or a different couple of TV spots put together for us to see. But yeah, it's just that exact thing. So we're going to get a preview. So we'll probably not see it before. Obviously, we'll probably watch the episode of Mandalorian, but we definitely won't be watching anything.
We've actually got a plane this time booked to Holland, so we can go for a shorter trip this time around, just to get back in time this time around, just because it was an easier route this time around. It was a little bit more pricey for us to get that particular one sorted last second, but we thought it'd be better for us to get done, especially for George, who has to be back in time for the premiere. But yeah, it should be a good fun, that particular one. And yes, we won't be watching the preview for that, but again, those of you who are out in the States, of course, the film comes out on the 20th with the midnight on the 19th. So again, we get it, of course, midnight of the 18th. So we get it again much earlier. So should be good fun. So interesting comments here. So evening guys, think we'll see another Star Wars mobile game anytime soon. There's still a Force Arena sized hole in my life. First of all, good evening, John. Try Galaxy Heroes. It's awesome. I love that game. Yeah, I can see them doing something, but I'm not quite sure what that would feel yet.
We're getting the Lego Star Wars mobile game next year, which looks like it's going to be Force Arena with Lego. I will spend a lot of time playing that. Don't have an iPad anymore, so we have to put it on my phone, which is going to be hard for charge, but I will.
Excellent.
Indeed. But yeah, no, good question there. And yes, try Galaxy Heroes if you haven't tried that. It's so much fun. And I think guys, that just about rounds up the news indeed. I'm aware of the time, so try and let's do a few other things. Star Wars, want to talk about that. My little baby here. So we've got the cover for the Rise of Skywalker novelization has been revealed. I wish they'd chosen a better image for it. At least it's not with Palpatine's face behind it. However, still cool to see. And I will probably get the expanded novel just to see what they left out on the cutting room floor for sure. The next bit we've got is the new book, Queen's Peril, novel coming from E.K. Johnston. Step before episode 1. Just as she goes, Queen. So this is a prequel to
the Queen's Shadow. It's a prequel to Queen's Shadow, which is a prequel to The Force Awakens, which is a prequel to A New Hope. We're going in reverse. We're having the first sequel prequel in reverse.
Yeah,
I love a sequel prequel. That's the new band. Whenever I start one, we are going to be sequel prequel.
Well, it's prequel. It's a sequel to a prequel of original, and it's with sequels. It's a nightmare in itself. It's also technically a sequel to a prequel as well, and it's a nightmare. However, yes, E.K. Johnston's a fantastic author. And if then you have read The Queen's Shadow, again, you'll know what you're in for with this one. I haven't read The Queen's Shadow myself, but I have read some E.K. Johnston stuff, and I'm looking forward to The Queen's Peril, that's for sure. Toy Shelf. jump on. Merchandise featuring the child of the Mandalorian is now available soon, coming up for Christmas. Dave, we got anything in our brands for that?
Yeah, we have. We've got, firstly, there are the Funko images. This is the regular Funko Pop, which is the small standard one of the child.
And the life-size one as well.
They are releasing a 10-inch version of the child as well, as they do release. They've recently released a few of these 10-inch versions going through, but they're releasing one of the child, which, yeah, again, will be pretty much a life size. And then...
Oh, beforehand...
Yes.
The 10-inch Pop is smiling and the normal size one isn't.
Look at that little difference. George throwing that out there.
Now
George,
you have to buy both.
Yeah.
Not that you want.
I will buy both. I will have to have the 10-inch one just to have around and carry about with me generally on a day-to-day basis. But if I'm talking about carrying a toy around, a doll, this is the one I'll be getting. The new plush that's going 11-inch plush, so you are looking literally at a full-size child. And this is a plush body with a vinyl head. The head looks perfect in the pose. It looks exactly like the child from The Mandalorian. I will have this. I want a doll of the child. Again, either put in my car or to carry around with me like I was a little girl again. Not again. I've never done that.
You know what? I kind of want to put this in my car now, just 24/7. I might buy one to leave in my passenger seat.
Again, though, cross out the child, just put Baby Yoda, because we all know it's Baby Yoda. They might want to call it the child. It's Baby Yoda to all of us.
What I want to commend Lucasfilm for is 90% of leaks from Star Wars have come from merchandise.
Yeah.
Barcode names, SKU names, catalog photos, everything. Almost anything you can think of the last 5 years has been leaked in Lego, Black Series, figures, anything like that. It's been leaked first on there, not elsewhere. Now, the beauty of the marketing of this film was the fact that there was no Baby Yoda. The fact that in merchandise, unofficially on paper, it's referred to as the child. If 6 months ago a pop leaked, and it's just we always get the one-line descriptions on the systems called Pop Mandalorian the Child, no questions would be asked. You'd assume it'd be a child in the TV series.
Yeah.
I want to commend Lucasfilm for holding back, for the companies for not actually letting things leak for once. But clearly they held back on them learning anything about that until, we're episode 4 now. They could have announced all this after episode 1 and people would be sold. But no, we're a couple of weeks in and they've obviously planned this. And obviously you can now pre-order the plush in the UK on Forbidden Planet. Now I've got it up, as well as Zavi. Other places will have it. I'm going to buy it, and any of them. I'm going to buy other Baby Yoda merchandise. So it'll be a shrine in my house.
Yeah, it really will.
Too. Although, speaking of Black Series that usually is part of the leaks, this was leaked before the show came out, and I saw it just before the show aired, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see what I'd seen before putting it in chat. I didn't know if you had, and I refrained from putting it in chat, of course, but this is the Black Series of the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, and it is glorious, and I will be adding that to the
I was very happy that when it leaked, I thought, oh, that's a new costume that the Mandalorian's going to wear in the show.
Yeah.
I was very happy that it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's on sale now, and it's already being sold online for like 50, 60 quid.
Yeah, it's
going
crazy.
Out everywhere that's getting in. You know, even the actual Mandalorian Black Series figures now going for £60 each.
If you've got the carbonized version of that figure,
it's
great. Yeah, because you an open fill, because you can't get that for love nor money right now unless you're willing to pay 4 times the price it was when it first came out. So anywhere,
I don't plan on reselling mine, so I don't care. Although I still have the box, I could rebox it quite well.
It's not quite the same. We all know. I'll tell them. I'll find you listening, Phil. But no. So yeah, I just want to quickly go back to the Baby Yoda, and this thing is an absolute juggernaut of. It's now probably the biggest meme out there in terms of the cup of tea, the soup drinking, and also everybody who's using Twitter is now using the Mandalorian switching on and off music with Baby Yoda. It's
my favorite.
massive.
I love it. I adore that meme. Yes, but no, it's so simple, yet it's just so powerful. It's fantastic. It's one of the biggest selling tools for the show is the meme. We all know that, when Elon Musk launched his Cybertruck, even though the shatterproof glass shattered because it's, of course, it's going to happen. He had no marketing. It still sold 140,000 units because of memes. It's the same with the Mandalorian, the child, especially when it's this adorable.
I've not seen anything in Star Wars take this sort of pop culture significance for a long time, especially from a TV show. Like you see loads of celebrities tweeting it. One of the American football teams made it up like one of their players as well, and it's just like it's everywhere, and I love the fact that it is.
Yeah, can't complain about that one. Might as well move on to see the Mandalorian. Got to talk, and the heavy infantry. Got to talk about the heavy infantry hot toys as well. They've done a regular hot toys version of the hot toys version of the regular Mandalorian as well. But this heavy infantry one is it's stunning, and I love it.
Hot toys as always. You're gonna, no matter what they put out there, every image they show is always stunning, always absolutely beautiful, and this is no different. A great set of armor on a great figure. If you're a collector and can afford to collect these, you would absolutely have this in your collection.
Indeed. George?
One day I will own a Hot Toys.
And if you are going to own Hot Toys, would it be this one, George? Would it be the Supreme Leader himself, Kylo Ren's new hot toy from The Rise of Skywalker?
Locked up in a cage. I'm joking. I don't know if I like this.
What?
Well, what? My issue is that
even with glowing helmet.
Well, are you able to have his human face with the helmet as an accessory, or do you have to buy a second one to have the human face?
Can you I hope it would be a head swap. Yeah,
that's so. If you can have a head swap, I'm all in because I want the human one, and then I want to be able to put the helmet on the floor next to it. It looked beautiful, like the Celebration exclusive. Granted, the technology is well and truly left that behind. I love it. In my room, it's sat there, Kylo Ren on his little podium, and on the floor you've got the burnt Darth Vader helmet, the Kylo Ren helmet, and the lightsaber. I would honestly buy a Hot Toys for Kylo Ren if you're going to get both in that. Someone can show that to me, I will get one next year, and I promise you this time, after 4 times of saying I'm going to get a Hot Toys, that will be the one I get next year. After our celebration.
I think if there was anyone to get, if it comes with both the head sculpts, then absolutely, it
will do. They always change out. I don't know if you can see it on the
whole head
picture we have. Yeah, because how can you change out the helmet?
Well, that's what's such bad marketing. That's what I thought.
But still, a beautiful piece. Hot Toys collectors have far too much money for my liking, but also they have some. I mean, some of these things are just epic.
However, there's also been the release of the one Sideshow Collectibles statue that I want, which is of course this beauty right here, the Asajj Ventress Sideshow Mythos statue, which if Robin's still in the comments, he'll know me all too well. He knows how much I want this already because I love Asajj. She is just absolutely one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars, just because of just her overall story arc and how badass she is, but also just her character development and just the 3 dimensions. Again, love her in the Dark Disciple book as well, and this figure is just beautiful.
The Mythos figures have been really good. I really like the Obi-Wan Kenobi they released. They just arrived on Tatooine with sort of Alex Guinness's head mixed with Ewan McGregor's head. He's got the clone armor with him and stuff. So some of the Mythos stuff's really, really nice. And there's a Vader as well holding the helmet.
Yeah, that's my favorite one of all time.
Yes, that's a really nice. The Mythos are really nice statues as well. So that would be a lovely addition to any collection for that as well.
Okay, I've just had it confirmed that you do get a head sculpt and a helmet sculpt with Kylo Ren.
You did say you would buy it now.
It come out till April 2021, so we've got a window there, folks.
Oh, okay, you have time. You have absolutely time to get saving.
We also have video proof, so you'll have to get it now.
Adventurous bin. Not a fan of that statue. Phil, if you want to order it, you will be the one order, the one and only. Not a fan of the Night Sisters, never have been. Loved Asajj Ventress in Clone Wars. A character I think they overused at the end. Don't like Night Sisters, as you can tell by my thoughts on Fallen Order. Not a fan. Sorry, Phil.
That's fine. To each their own.
It looks like something like King Kong.
Again, to each their own. To each their own. I absolutely adore it, and one day I will add it to my collection. Just
you could replace Asajj Ventress with King Kong, and you've got Kong Skull Island, and he knows it's true as well.
No.
Just
no.
poking the bear now, George. Poking the bear. But anyway, let's move off that while he's to have differing opinions. Something we all love, and Lego. Now, there's two things. First thing I want to just mention is that the Lego Advent Calendar obviously is available. It's out now. The Don't Work Today number 4 is December 4th today. We got an awful blast this morning, which had no purpose at all.
I've never even seen it in the new films. Maybe in Force Awakens in the hangar. But
maybe, yeah, it's just like a really bizarre blaster. But you do eventually get, if you're looking at the screen now, Luke with fish on stick, which is just an awesome. That is that is it. If anyone see George is on screen. Oh, if I remove that,
it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, what is the point? I understand the point. It's a little minifigure. It's a rubbish gun.
It's a white gun. Yeah.
I love the fact you can, in theory, put the First Order Stormtrooper with it, because we've had 4 days of dark side things now.
Yeah.
Is it the 4th of December already? Christ, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's flying through, sir.
I think we're going to get a couple of light side stuff in the next few days too.
It's just going to be so.
The reason why we know it's the 4th is we've got 14 days until we see the Rise of Skywalker. That's all that matters to us. But yes, we also have more Lego stuff as well, Dave. If you want to continue crack on with the Legos.
Yeah, if you're looking on the screen now, you will see a really brightly coloured X-Wing in candy cane colours and reds and awesome snow around it. Like, looks like it's on Hoth. This is a 20 years celebration set. You'll see that as well. But this is not something you'll be able to buy. This was actually given out to Lego staff for their 2019 gift. So they were given a Christmas-themed X-Wing as their gift this year, which I think is an awesome thing to be part of Lego, to get these things giving you like exclusives. And I think a Lego X-Wing I mean, you know what? I don't really want to see a Lego X-Wing in Christmas colors, but you know what? To get given that as a gift from your company, I think it's awesome.
They're currently all going for around £300 on eBay too.
No way.
That cheap?
My question is, which Lego staff get this? Lego headquarters? It won't be Lego stores and stuff. I think this will be like the head office.
It didn't actually say, it didn't sort of define the story in which staff get it. But I think you're right. I can't see it being every staff member. Although if there are quite a few online, who knows if it's just sort of you get a box at Christmas and you get a Lego thing, and that's what they got this year. So who knows? Let's all go work. One of us go work for Lego and find out how you get these things, so we can make some money on eBay. But no, I think it's an awesome thing for them to get, and hopefully some of them will keep a hold of these things. I'm guessing they've probably had some really nice things over the years, especially the head office ones, some exclusives that have never been out and about. But yeah, I just thought it was a really nice story to kind of, before we get on to our last bit of news on the games. But yeah, I just thought it was a really nice little piece. The present they got this year was this awesome X-Wing.
Indeed. And we might as well close the show with our game section talking about Fallen Order. George, do you want to take this nice little piece?
Yeah. Jedi Fallen Order has become the fastest selling digital launch for a Star Wars game. Not hard to predict, considering there's only been 3 Star Wars games released since digital games are a thing. And this is the one that hasn't completely backfired on launch too. So a nice little story, but ultimately pointless. And it's, it's a great game. If you haven't played it, please play it. Avoid the comment section from our last episode. Turns. Don't care that I blocked him, guys. You told me not to, but the fury was there. The anger was there. So close to completion. If people know what happened, I was on the final level, the final boss battle on the final level. I paused the game to do a video of you guys, and within 10 minutes it was spoiled in the comment section. Not even a warning, no premeditated, just the ending of the game.
So now actually the trailers for the game now have that in the trailer. And
really?
Yes.
Wow,
they gave it a little bit of time, but yeah, it's now out there sort of everywhere. It's like it's part of their marketing, so it's yeah.
Not a fan. Not happy with that. But in better news, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is still going, people.
Yeah.
We know it's resurged. We know over the last year it's actively had many people playing it. We knew they teased Episode 9 content. We all assumed some skins, a new map, maybe. They've announced today, not just all this Episode 9 malarkey. As of tomorrow, a game is coming out called Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition. It's basically just a new disc, which is going to have all of the digital downloads built into it rather than downloading update by update. It will contain all the skins in the game that you normally have to pay for, which I also understand why they do that. And if you it's $35 retail price. If you like to upgrade from your normal Battlefront, it's £25. You're paying £25 for skins. Not worth it, but I understand why they've done it. And more importantly, the episode 9 content, which is coming at the end of the month, there is going to be the new Jungle Planet, which they're persisting on calling the Jungle Planet. There's going to be BB-8 and BB-9E as not heroes, but kind of like assistant to heroes. And there's going to be episode 9 skins for Kylo, for Rey, and for Finn. In January, they're going to re-release Jakku, as it was on Battlefront 1, not Battlefront 2. And more importantly, there will be 2 new heroes, assuming 1 hero, 1 villain. Now, my question to you two, they've confirmed already this is sequel trilogy. Which 2 characters is it going to be? I know who I think I've got a bet on who I think it should be. I don't think it will be them, but I'll let you two go first.
So my bet for one of them would be General Hux. That would be my bet for one of them. For the dark side. For the light side, maybe Jedi Master Luke. That would be my thought. Dave?
I would have, my bet would have probably been Jedi Master Luke for what we get in the sequel trilogy, although I would love old Lando as well. I think that would be awesome to be able to play as old Lando running around. And if you're looking for a Darksider, I think we're going to get whatever version of Palpatine we get in the movie.
I want Snoke and Luke.
Oh, Snoke's a good, even better choice.
They should have been on episode 8, but they weren't. But is the Snoke sail barge? We don't know. Are they going to go for a Palpatine? January, I think for Palpatine's very tight. I can't imagine them wanting to give the design details over. But part of me thinks we're going to get Poe or Janna.
Oh, yeah.
I know Poe's at the X-Wing, but I think I really want.
I think Poe. They'll just give you a new skin. If anything,
well, he's technically not on the game though, because he's got the X-Wing.
For Starfighter, they might just give you a new skin. I don't know if they
a new outright hero. It's
I would like Hux. I really would like General Hux.
Can he do anything? I mean,
only if he's screaming out his speech from from The Force Awakens at all times, just running around screaming it.
His scream would push them away.
Yeah.
Or how many times did he use the gun in the series when he almost tries to kill Kylo Ren on the floor?
Yeah, I love that moment. It's one of my favorite moments.
But no, that's all the Battlefront 2 news. They'll be with you in January, and I'm sure we'll have them covered.
Indeed. And I think that actually about rounds it up for the evening as well. I don't think there's anything else you want to add, guys.
Just again, thank you very much, everyone who's watched on live with us. It's been nice to have people commenting again and watching while we go out with this show. Your support means the absolute world. If you want to support us a bit more, you can always go over to tpublic.co.uk and buy one of our shirts. Search for OWTF, and our shirt designs are lovely, especially the new Mandalorian one.
Indeed. George, anything else to
add? We'll be back with a new Mandalorian video. We've got lots of stuff coming your way. We're entering my most anticipated 2 weeks of the year, of maybe even the decade, as it comes to a close.
Indeed. My last closing thought before we go on, I just want to say congratulations to Carl Roberts. We already put it on our Facebook page, but he won our giveaway of the Poe Dameron Age Resistance comic, so that will be on its way to you. I've received the message in the Facebook chat. I'll get this out to you next week, I'm hoping. All things going well on that one. So yes, all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. What's the Force Stars Podcast at the Force Podcast. You can find our merchandise and link down below, as well as TeePublic Store, by searching OWTF once the Force Stars Podcast. You can find it all there. It helps the show go along. The video version of the show will be available on our YouTube and Facebook pages afterwards, and of course the audio version will be up later on our Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and iTunes pages. So we've been Ones of the Force. May the Force Stars be with you. Good night.